Santa Claus book haul. Ho, ho, ho. Hello, everybody. I hope you all had a great holiday, great Christmas. And I want to show you a few things that Santa Claus brought to me. She was very generous this year. And so we're going to take a look now. I'm Gary Lovisi, and here we're going to go. I'm just going to move these out of the way for a minute. And we'll look at these in a minute. But I'm going to look at this stack, a couple of stacks of vintage paperbacks, British New English Library, historical Man from Tipperary, a British Archer book, Passionate Puritan, Leisure Library #1, My Life is My Own. Great, good draw sleeves. Some Fantastic Digest. This is #1 from November, December 1952. Fantastic. And it has a wraparound cover. And I believe it has a Mickey Spillane story also in it. Fantastic from February 1956. These are all from 1956. Some here in the bag. Fantastic from May '59 with Robert Bloch's story, The Hungry Eye. Great cover art on these, beautiful condition. December '56, Fantastic. The Mummy Takes Your Wife. Great leg art cover. Fantastic. April '56, The Monarch of Mars. The Tragedies of the White Slaves. This is I believe, a Padel book. High Priest of California by Charles Willeford. This is a Black Mask Online digest paperback. This is one of the series of it's Alien Carnival by Walter Leibschecker, Fantasy Reader #1. These are tall paperbacks that came out in the 60s. There's maybe 8 or 10 of them. One of them is Edgar Rice Burroughs' The Man-Eater. Bad Seed postcard book, which is really cool, and it's full of juvenile delinquent postcards showing all different kind of juvenile delinquent paperback cover art. And it's a really cool book. And these are postcards. You can take the postcards out and actually mail them. That's the Bad Seed postcard book. Arthur Westbrook Company, dime novel, mystery novel, American Detective Series #27, The Pinkerton Ferret by Charles Morris. Really nice condition on this book, over 100 years old. I don't know too much about this. Munro's 10-cent novels, The Wolf Slayer. This is George Munro Company, number 83 in the series. Dime novel. Peterson and Brothers, a British edition of Nana by Emile Zola. And I guess this is the proof copy. A Father Richard, Notes on His Printing in Early Detroit by Andrew Polsher, is an interesting book, and it has it's the map cover. It has a letter, which I haven't actually examined yet. It has a letter in it from 1949, 48, and it's a small little book. It's really cute. The Dorrington Deed Box by Arthur Morrison is a Red Letter series, mystery crime dime novel. Lunar Monthly #8 is from January 1970. It's a thin little digest pamphlet, Weird Tales creator. Unibook number 6, Man Bait by Richard Grant. Great, sexy digest. We have two in this one. Electro Pete, The Man of Fire by Anthony P. Morris, Arthur Westbrook Company dime novel. And on the other side is another Arthur Westbrook, The Cipher Detective by Anthony P. Morris also. Really nice kind of cover art of a female police officer. And that's The Cipher Detective. And these are all dime novels, probably from around 1910 or so. Jack Simmons Detective by Anthony P. Morris. It's the Ivers Detective Series, number 36, probably from around 1910. There's a British cherry tree book, number 259, The House of Lies by Augustus Murr. Very thin little paperback from the 40s. It's a really cool one. Two complete mystery novels by Century Mystery Digest, number 30. And it has Secret Corridors by Hugh Pentecost, but the best thing is it has Weekend to Kill by Frederick Neville, who's a great crime hardboiled writer. All in a Night's Work is another crime dime novel. And Cop Colt, The Quaker City Detective, Arthur Westbrook Company, another dime novel. Pretty cool. So these dime novels have some great cover art on them. We're going to move these up and move them up out of the way, and we'll look at some other items, some paperbacks. Messalina by Jack Olek is Adele, a story of ancient Rome. Great cover art by James Bama. Great good girl art, cover art by James Bama on that one. Two Harlan Ellison pyramid books from the 60s. Pain, God, and Other Delusions. Some beautiful, beautiful copies. You see condition on these. And The Doors, No Doors, No Window, number 9 in Harlan Ellison's series for science fiction stories for pyramid books. Others, It Takes a Thief, The Devil in Davos by Gil Brewer. TV tie-in with the series. Gil Brewer wrote. He was a masterful crime writer who did some of the books in this series. And the other side is Tomorrow Lovers. Tormented Lovers. It looks like Tomorrow upside down. Tormented Lovers by Diamo Winston, and it's a Harry Barton cover. Monarch number 263. We have Torture Garden by Octavie Mirabeau, and it's a Berkeley book. This is a different cover art from the usual editions of this. There's one with a Frazetta cover. There's others with different cover art. I've never seen this one, so this is pretty cool. And Avon number 401, Perversity by Francis Carco. Put those down there. The Scent of White Poppies by John Christopher, Avon book, science fiction. John Christopher wrote some great, amazing science fiction books. And this is what's really cool, Bachelor's Guide to the Opposite Sex, another Avon book. Very nice, cool, good girl art on that one. Pocketbook, Black Jade by Angeline Taylor, Pocketbook 635. And again, these are just beautiful copies. Let's look at the condition on them. Beautiful, beautiful. Good Time Girl by Jack Allen is a newsstand library, number U148. It's probably a Bonneful's cover on that one. Gold medal book 1057, Rogue Moon by Algis Budrys. Great science fiction novel. Richard Powers cover art. Early door book, number 69, The Pritchard Mass by Gordon R. Dixon, with a beautiful Kelly Frias cover. That's number 69 in the door series. Number 180 in the door series is In the Green Star's Glow, which is number 5 in the Green Star series by Lynn Carter, and that has a great cover art by Michael Whalen. Door book number 306 is Ursud by Joe Clayton, novel of the diadem. Another beautiful, and these door books, look at the condition of these. Now these are 40, 50, 60 years old, and just beautiful. 40, 50 years old. One of my favorite authors, James White, this is Major Operation. It's the Valentine book from 1971 with a Dean Ellis cover. Dean Ellis is a great science fiction illustrator, and that's a great book. I read that years ago, and it's really terrific. And another book that's really good also is Slave Ship by Frederick Pohl, and this is a Valentine paperback from fourth printing from 1975. And Tilt Angle by R.W. McElworth is a Valentine book, science fiction from 1970. John Berkey cover art. Home from the Shore by Gordon R. Dixon is an earlier tour book. It's illustrated, and it's from 1988. Alan Gutierrez did the cover art on that. Another door book, number 295, To Keep the Ship by A. Bertram Chandler. Beautiful copy from 1978. Cover art by H.R. Van Dongen, who did a lot of Valentine covers and also did a lot of covers for the 60s crime magazines. Gods and Golems by Lester Del Rey is a Valentine science fiction novel. A 5-story collection, first edition from 1973. And there's always kinds of some beautiful copy, but also there's always kinds of things in books that you find that make it kind of interesting. And in this, it's Thank You, Call Again. It's the actual purchase receipt when the person bought this book, and it was for $1.25, 6 cents tax, and it was from 1973. That's always interesting things in paperbacks sometimes that you find. An Ace Science Fiction Special. These are kind of quite collectible and not that common. This is The Eclipse of Dawn by Gordon Eklund, and beautiful copy again. It's from 1971. Gordon Eklund. This is not one that's not seen that often. And the last one on the paperbacks is The Door into Fire by Diane Duane. It's a Dell Fantasy. It's a paperback original from 1979. The Door into Fire by Diane Duane. Now we're going to move these over, scoot these over a little bit, and look at a few other items. Thrills Incorporated. Santa Claus found 2 of these, and they're rare Australian science fiction magazines from the late 40s and early 50s, and this is number 7. It's great, terrific good girl art, and this is number 9. 2 of these, incredibly pretty rare, impossible to find, beautiful, beautiful magazines. Thin, like about 64 pages. They're Australian, and later on they had a different format change. They became digest size. The early ones are big magazine size, and they became pulp magazine size, and they became digest size. There's about 24 in the series. I did an earlier episode on Thrills Incorporated. I'll try to put that in the description, what episode that was, if you want to look at the other copies of these magazines. They really have great cover art. Brand is the cover artist. Also, there's interesting items that we found. Buck Rogers comic book, Australian. This is number 104. And they all have black and white. This is number 105. They have all black and white insides. And they're really nice. This is number 112. Ed Smith did the covers on them. Here's his signature on here. This is number 117. These are really tough to find. They're Australian large size comics. They reprint the dailies from the American Buck Rogers, and they're about maybe 32 pages or so, and almost all of it is Buck Rogers. It has some other stuff in the later pages. Some other just cool magazines. Monsters of the Movies, number 5, Marvel Comics magazine. Real Clue Crime Stories, March 1952. Crime comic. Really cool. Good girl art magazine. Titter from April. It's probably the late 40s. Great cover art on that. Some more Monsters of the Movies, number 7. Marvel magazine. Dracula. Horrors of Dracula. Monsters Unleashed, number 11, another Marvel magazine. These are really cool. They had black and white comics inside. Now we're going to look at a few pulps. From July 1948, Amazing Stories, science fiction pulps. Great cover art, nice condition. Terrific copy of Astounding Science Fiction from October 1939 with Doc Smith's Gray Lensman, the iconic cover. The November 1949 issue of Amazing Stories. Great good girl art. Story by Alexander Blade, who was actually Howard Brown, who was the editor of this magazine. Fantastic story from 1949 with Eando Binder story. Fantastic Adventures with the Sam Merwin story. Cover. Great cover art. All
Walter
of these.
Pop.
Excuse me?
Walter Pop cover.
Walter Pop cover? This one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Oh. I didn't even notice. Is it signed?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, it is down on the bottom. Okay, yes, down the bottom is signed. Walter Pop. He did some.
That one too.
Yes. Yes, Amazing Stories, November 1952, with the Don Wilcox cover story, Alfred Coppel, and it's a Walter Pop. These are both Walter Pop covers. And it's signed down here, Walter Pop. It's funny because like later on he just signed it Pop, P-O-P-P. So we're going to move these over for a minute. And we're going to look at some hardcovers. And I'm going to take these up. First is Otto Penzler of Mysterious Books does these facsimile reprints of famous crime and mystery novels, I the Jury, Farewell, I the Jury by Mickey Spillane, Farewell My Lovely by Raymond Chandler, and their slipcase editions. So these are exact facsimiles in box, and they have the notice here of the original famous novels, which are incredibly scarce and rare, and they're just beautiful books in slipcase. I the Jury, the first Mickey Spillane novel, and again you have the library notice, Penzler edition, and beautiful copy of a very rare book in slipcase. So these are made especially for collectors, and collectors that just love these certain books, classic crime and mystery novels, that would cost an arm and a leg if you actually purchase them from Mysterious Bookshop or any place online or anything. So those are really two nice books. I'm happy to have them. This is an interesting book. This is an Italian, number 243, Mondiori, from 1950, Italian novel. I don't know too much about it. It does have a red band around it, which is interesting. I don't know what it says, but this is from the library of Robert de Graaf, who is the founder of pocketbooks, and it's signed by Robert de Graaf in March 1950. So this may be a book that was that he purchased, and with the intent to reprint it in the pocketbook line at some point. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. I haven't done my research on that yet, but that's probably how it came into his library. Here's a beauty. A couple of videos ago, my wife Lucille, actually I think it was the last video, Lucille, my wife, did a dust jacket creation video, and she's done a few beautiful covers for me, and this one was gifted to me by Santa Claus. It's The Mystery of the Sea by Bram Stoker. It's the first American edition, and of course it had no dust jacket, and it came with no dust jacket, but she did a dust jacket for it, and it's very Cthulhu oriented, original dust jacket created by Lucille, and so this is the book. It's from 1900, I believe. Let me see.
Early 1900s, yeah.
Early 1900s. Bram Stoker. Another interesting book for Sherlockian fans, The Memoirs of Professor Moriarty, Volume 1, edited by Clive Brooks, is a collection of stories about Professor Moriarty, and it's a very cool book. Norby, the Mixed Up Robot is by Janet and Isaac Asimov, hardcover, and it's nice thing about this is that it's the first edition, but it's also, if I can find it, it's signed by Janet and Isaac Asimov. This is one of the books in their Norby series. They wrote books for young adults and children. So it's a cool science fiction adventure for younger readers. Jack Vance. This is a little booklet, The Bag Full of Dreams by Jack Vance. Vance is a terrific writer.
That might be signed, I don't remember.
Well, we shall see. Maybe we won't see. But I think it's pretty taped up pretty good. Well, bear with us.
Since I didn't want to damage the books.
See if it's... Yes, it is, actually. So this is one of his Dying Earth books. I think it's Kugel the Clever, and it's signed by Jack Vance from 1979. And it's a great little book. These stories are terrific. They're just terrific. And Vance is a great author. Now we're going to move on. Ever onward and upward. That's Jack Vance. Some Sexy Sleaze, Harris publication, hardcover. Hangover by Max Leaf. Wild Antics in the Area of Wonderful Nonsense. His Lordship by Leslie Thomas. It's a British Michael Joseph book from so third printing from 1978. Quite a collectible sleaze novel in hardcover. A very eclectic mix here because we have a Grosset and Dunlap Story of Babe Ruth by Tom Meany from the 40s or 50s. Death in a Pheasant's Eye, a Detective Superintendent Aveyard novel by James Fraser. Nice.
That's
hardcover.
the map back.
Oh yeah, and this is a British edition, and it has a map on the back, so it's a kind of a British map back. It's kind of pretty cool. The back cover of the Babe Ruth book has other books for young adult teenagers in the series. The Mixed Men by A.E. Van Vogt is a Gnome Press science fiction edition from 1958. A.E. Van Vogt is a great science fiction writer. The Checklist of Fantastic Literature by Everett Blyler is a classic book. This is a second printing from 1948 by Shasta. And this is a very interesting book because it's really like the checklist. It's one of the earliest books on fantastic literature, science fiction, fantasy, horror. So it lists all the books that have been published up to that point of around 1945 or so, which is this was very significant, important work, and has some interesting material in it. This is an odd little book, interesting. Captain Stormfield's Visit to Heaven, extracts from by Mark Twain. It's a little book, thin little hardcover from Harper and Brothers in New York, from 1909. And this is not foxing, this is actually gold leaf to make it look like he's in space. And it's by Mark Twain. and the back cover. Interesting little hardcover. And I'm going to move these over and start another pile. A few things. Wild Hunger by Fred Malloy, Jack Woodford Press book. Woodford Press books are very popular, very collectible. I believe there's another one. Well, we'll get to that. Grosset and Dunlap, The Dane Curse by Dashiell Hammett. Get into some good crime stuff. This is a facsimile dust jacket on the first edition. Tower Press did a lot of nice books in the for Hammett and Chandler, and this one is Red Wind by Raymond Chandler, short story collection. There's great classic pulp stories. Another Raymond Chandler by Tower Books, and nice dust jacket on this. This is from 1946 first printing. Spanish Blood. So both of these books are first editions of stories that appeared in the pulps by Chandler. Another nice, really nice book is this British one, second printing from 1949, The Little Sister by Raymond Chandler, Hamish Hamilton. Hardcover, nice hardcover. And I knew there was another Jack Woodford book, Woodford Press, and this is City Limits from from 1947. Jack Woodford. One of my favorite authors, C.S. Lewis. This is a first American edition of Randall and the River of Time.
C.S. Lewis.
I mean, not C.S. Lewis, C.S. Forester. Yeah, C.S. Forester, who wrote
It's
the
really your
Hornblower
favorite,
books.
huh?
C.S. Forester. C.S. Lewis is good too, but C.S. Forester, who wrote the Hornblower books, and this is the first American edition from Little Brown and Company. Yes, from 1950. And the last one is an interesting book. It's a very early, from 1898. Tennyson Neely publisher, 10,000 Years in a Block of Ice by Parrott. No dust jacket. It's an early science fiction novel. Over 100 years old. No dust jacket. Lucille hasn't gotten to this one yet, but maybe if I'm lucky she will. Well, I hope you all had a really great holiday, and I obviously did. Santa Claus was very good to me. She was able to find a few things that I really am happy to have and to collect and to read, and it's going to keep me busy the rest of the year. And hope you enjoyed this look, Santa Claus book haul, or Santa Claus delivery. And if you did, give us a thumbs up and a like, and subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, and hope you enjoyed this look. Thanks a lot for looking. See you next time.